This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Hello, this is TVM's Metro Update. I am Blessing Sampson. Here are the news making the rounds this hour. In Delta State, Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has approved automatic scholarships for the best graduating students from the state's 4 universities as part of efforts to promote academic excellence and youth development. According to the Delta State Bursary and Scholarship Board, each top graduate from Delsu Abraka, South Delta University Ozoro, University of Delta Agbo, and Dennis Osadebe University Asaba will receive full funding for master's and PhD programs in accredited Nigerian institutions. The board says the initiative supports the governor's more agenda and aims to build a highly skilled, competitive youth population while motivating undergraduates to aim for excellence. Still in Delta State, Deaconess Tobore Oborevwori, First Lady of Delta State, officially opened the Tobore Oborevwori Cottage Hospital in Ughelli North on December 2nd, 2025. She described the facility as a symbol of hope, healing, and compassion for the community. The hospital, part of a local effort led by Chairman Olorungu Jaru Ebo, aims to provide accessible and quality health care. It is equipped with modern diagnostic tools and an ambulance, serving as a referral center for primary health care clinics in the area. The First Lady praised her husband, Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, for health sector reforms, including reduced dialysis fees, new medical equipment, and ongoing refurbishment of 150 primary health care centers across the state. She also highlighted her humanitarian initiatives such as free medical outreach for children with special needs, pledging to expand similar programs to Delta North and South. Our community leaders urge residents to protect the hospital and ensure its long-term success. Still in Delta State, the Neo-Black Movement of Africa, in Edo State, the Neo-Black Movement of Africa has commended Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo for significantly reducing court-related violence and unlawful killings through recent security measures. Barrister Aliyu Hope, national head of NBM, praised the governor's leadership in safeguarding lives and stabilizing communities, emphasizing that the movement opposes violence and criminality. Hope clarified that the Governor's Secretariat the Edo Secretariat and confirmed the organization operates legally and transparently. He expressed NBM's readiness to collaborate with the state government and security agencies to promote peace, unity, and socio-economic development across Edo State. In other news, Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo has expressed the readiness of the state to host the next edition of the Niger Delta Sports Festival slated for February 2026. The governor, who welcomed the NDDC's proposal, pledged that Edo State would deliver a successful and memorable sports festival, saying the commission has chosen the right state. The governor stressed that the state has what it takes to win every sporting activity, as they have the athletes to do so. In his remarks, the NDC Managing Director, Chief Dr. Samuel Obuku, commended Governor Okpebholo's administration's strides, particularly in the area of sports and infrastructural development. He explained that the visit was to formally seek Edo State hosting of the forthcoming Niger Delta Games with the theme Beyond Oil, Harnessing Talents. Dr. Obuku stated that the festival, whose maiden edition was held earlier this year with over 3,000 athletes from the 9 Niger Delta states, was designed to strengthen regional integration using sports as unifying tool. The Edo State government is extending an invitation to investors, current and prospective, to have confidence in the state's investment climate. Deputy Governor Dennis Idahosa, who chairs the Edo State Boundary Committee, briefing journalists following a meeting with oil exploration companies, assured investors of the state's commitment to protecting their investments. He also disclosed that the meeting addressed key issues, including the state government's relentless commitment to resolving communal disputes, upgrading infrastructure, and enhancing security to support businesses thriving in Edo State.
All the communities that are in the boundary line between Edo and Delta, where there are communal disputes, that we are doing everything within our power. Like Igbo said, we will use diplomatic and democratic means to make sure that this is resolved. And for us in Edo, we are encouraging all the investors to come in and invest in Edo State. And these ways of doing business, in line with the economic drive of Executive Governor of our state, Single Senator Monday Okpebholo, is top-notch. I want to encourage all Edo citizens that His Excellency is doing so much in the area of infrastructure to give accessible road to major companies and communities, and also is ensuring that there is security of life and property across the state by investing aggressively in area of security. So on that note, they were very pleased with the meeting, and they have assured us that we should come as well for on-the-spot assessment or inspection in area where they are currently doing business in Orion or local government of Edo State. So on this note, I want to use this opportunity to appeal and encourage all the investors, the multinational companies in Edo, that His Excellency the Civil Senator Monday Okpebholo will do everything to protect their investments and also for them to do their job more effectively.
And still in Edo State, the State House of Assembly has summoned Honorable Natasha Irobosa, representing Ego constituency, to appear before its Ethics and Privileges Committee within a week over alleged misconduct. Speaker Blessing Agbebaku stated the lawmaker must address actions linked to her relationship with music star Tubaba that have gone viral and embarrassed the assembly. The committee is expected to submit its findings to the House within 2 weeks. And now for some national stories. 70 years of service by women in the Nigerian police force was the focus of a special day at the force headquarters, where female officers took charge of all operations. The occasion served to honor decades of resilience and quiet victories by women in uniform, which began in 1955. As the achievements of women pace setters were rolled out, the current officers pledged renewed commitment to serve their nation with dedication, courage, and unwavering strength. Yusuf as the new chairman of the National Population Commission, along with Commissioners Joseph Haruna Kibu and Tonga Betara Bulafar. The brief ceremony took place during the opening of the Federal Executive Council meeting. Yusuf, confirmed by the Senate on October 2025, succeeds Nasser Issa Kwara, who had served since 2020. 5 permanent secretaries were also sworn in at the event.
Security and in other aspects of development strides to Edo State government or what Edo government is doing in order to work infrastructural development in Edo State. In addition, with Edo State, the reason why Escapi as a last soldier on the new law agenda, they assure them, John President, that they shouldn't worry that their investments are safe and that the government will stay because.
Still on national stories, the Senate has passed for second reading a bill seeking to amend the Terrorism Act to clarify kidnapping and hostage-taking as acts of terrorism. Sponsored by Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele, the bill proposes the death penalty without the option of a fine or alternative sentence for offenders. Bamidele said the amendment aligns with the Senate's resolve to support the federal government in tackling insecurity, recalling a recent decision by lawmakers to adopt a stronger legal framework against kidnapping. He described kidnapping as a growing and highly commercialized crime that has disrupted communities and education nationwide. The bill has been referred to joint committees on judiciary, human rights and legal matters, interior, and national intelligence to report back in 2 weeks. The Senate has confirmed former Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, as Nigeria's new Minister of Defense after a 5-hour screening. His appointment follows nomination by President Bola Tinubu to replace Mohamed Badaru, who resigned due to ill health. Addressing rising insecurity, Musa vowed to investigate recent troop withdrawals, stop ransom payments, and use technology to track criminals. He ruled out negotiating with kidnappers, stressing that it undermines security, and Senate President Godswill Akpabio supported Musa's approach, rejecting ransom payments and criminal rehabilitation, and assured the defense minister of the Senate's backing in effort to secure the nation. And in other stories, Presidential Advisor on Policy Communication, Daniel Bwala, says the Tinubu administration maintains a strict policy of not negotiating with terrorist groups. According to the report, Bwala acknowledged that past governments engaged in negotiations under pressure to save lives, but said President Tinubu adopted a zero-tolerance stance because ransom payments end up funding terrorism. On how kidnapped school children were recently rescued without ransom, Bwala explained that various factors can lead to releases, including pressure from security agencies, interventions by religious leaders, or captors abandoning hostages to avoid complications. He added that in some cases, families or state governments may pay ransoms, but instead, the federal government neither pays nor will pay ransom to terrorists. 38 worshippers abducted in Kwara State have been reunited with their families in Eruku after a successful rescue operation coordinated by President Bola Tinubu, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, and the Office of the National Security Advisor. The victims arrived in Eruku around 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday to an emotional welcome from relatives and community members. They were formally handed over to the Ekiti local government chairman, Honorable Awelewa Olawale Gabriel, in Ilorin, with officials praising the swift response of government and security agencies. Honorable Awelewa thanks President Tinubu, Governor Abdulrazak, and NSA and all security operatives for their efforts, assuring residents that local authorities would continue to strengthen security across the 10 wards. The Owa of Eruku also expressed gratitude, saying the safe return of the worshippers has brought relief and joy to the community. In other stories, a midnight fire has killed 5 members of a family in Kofa, Sauri, Katsina. The blaze, which started around 3 a.m., destroyed the home of 35-year-old Mohammed Habibu, his wife Fatima, and their 3 children, living in community in grief. Residents suspect a power surge caused the fire, which spread rapidly while the family slept. While neighbors' efforts to put out the fire flames failed, and the fire service was reported to have arrived late, though officials said firefighters eventually extinguished the blaze. Local authorities, including SEMA, visited the scene, offered condolences, and advised residents to take safety precautions against recurring fire incidents. A TVM's Metro update returns after this quick break. Stay tuned. Business news. The Central Bank of Nigeria has ended the special approval that allowed individuals to withdraw 5 million naira and corporates 10 million naira monthly. In a new circular issued on December 2nd, 2025, the CBN said the change aligns cash policies with current realities and aims to cut cash management costs, boost security, and reduce money laundering risk. Effective January 1st, 2026, individuals may withdraw a maximum of 500,000 naira weekly, while corporates are limited to 5 million naira. Withdrawals above the limit attract 3% and 5% charges respectively, while ATMs withdrawals are capped at 100,000 naira daily and 500,000 naira weekly, counting towards the weekly limit. All denominations can now be loaded into ATMs, and third-party checks remain limited to 100,000 naira, while banks must report withdrawals and deposits above limit monthly and keep separate accounts for excess withdrawal charges. Government revenue accounts, microfinance banks, and mortgage banks are exempt, while embassies and donor agencies lose previous exemptions. Still on business news, the National Economic Council has approved 100 billion naira pending President Tinubu's final ratification to rehabilitate training institutions for the police and other security agencies nationwide. At its 154th virtual meeting chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, NEC also endorsed 2.6 billion naira for consultancy services. The approval follows an assessment by an ad hoc committee led by Governor Peter Mba, who reported that many facilities are in poor conditions. Vice President Shettima reaffirmed the government's commitment to improving security infrastructure and urged governors to ensure reforms produce measurable results for citizens. And in international stories, the death toll from Hong Kong's worst fire in decades has climbed to 159 after authorities completed search of the affected apartment blocks in Tai Po. Police said the figure may rise as suspected human remains undergo forensic testing. Report states that mourners have continued to gather near the charred Wong Fong court buildings, honoring victims aged between 1 and 97. Authorities say the blaze spread rapidly due to renovation materials, including non-fire resistant netting and scaffolding. 15 people, including construction company leaders, have been arrested for suspected manslaughter, while 6 others face charges over malfunctioning fire alarms. The disaster has sparked widespread grief and renewed calls for accountability, even as officials warn against groups allegedly exploiting the tragedy. In other stories, New Delhi recorded over 200,000 acute respiratory illness cases across 6 state-run hospitals between 2022 and 2024, underscoring the health impact of the city's severe air pollution. Report states that more than 30,000 patients required hospitalization, while India's health ministry told Parliament that rising pollution levels were associated with increased emergency room visits, though it stressed that other factors including lifestyle, medical history and immunity also contribute. Delhi's winter smog, driven by crop burning, factory emissions and heavy traffic, often pushes PM 2.5 levels up to 60 times the UN safe limits, posing major risks, especially for children. And in sports news, Nigeria has been crowned champions of the para-volleyball event at the inaugural West Africa Zone A and B Championship, defeating Ghana 3-0 in the final. The team also opened the tournament with a 3-0 win over Niger Republic. Nigeria dominated the final set, winning 25-10, 25-6 and 25-16, showcasing superior teamwork and experience. Meanwhile, President of the Para-Volleyball Federation, Kayode Ladele, credited the victory to ongoing efforts to develop the sport, while coach Priscilla Agara thanked the federation for providing international exposure. And in tennis, Serena Williams has reappeared on the International Tennis Integrity Agency drug testing registry, prompting speculation about a comeback. But the 44-year-old swiftly shut down the rumors, posting, "I am not coming back," on social media. Williams retired after the 2022 US Open with 23 Grand Slam singles titles, the most by any woman in the Open era. Her return to the testing pool is a procedural requirement for any potential comeback, but does not confirm intent to compete. Meanwhile, the development comes as her sister Venus, now 45, returned to the tour this year and reached the US Open women's doubles quarterfinals. The possibility of a Williams sisters reunion in 2026 remains a fan fantasy, but Serena insists she is staying retired. And that's all from TVM's Metro Update. I am Blessing Samson. You can watch us on the go on TVM's app, accessible on Android Play Store and Apple Store. Follow us and interact with our social media pages. Like, subscribe and share. And remember, your environment is a part of you. Do keep it clean.